Acid-base titration. Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. These are the learning outcome for 7.2 acid-base titration. Titration is a procedure for determining the concentration of a solution using another solution of known concentration. Standard solution is a solution with accurately known concentration. Indicator is a weak organic acid or base that change color over a range of pH value. Meanwhile, endpoint is the point when the indicator changes color, and equivalent point is the point when all the acids and bases have completely reacted based on stoichiometric equivalency. This is the setup for the titration. We have a burette and also a conical flask. Analyte is the solution in the conical flask with a fixed volume. Meanwhile, titrant is the solution added from the burette with unknown volume. This figure shows 5 steps in a titration process from the beginning until the end point is achieved. Titration curve is a plot showing the change in pH of the solution in the conical flask as the reagent is added from the burette. This is the setup and this is the titration curve. Titration curve is used to determine the equivalent point of an acid-base reaction and also the pH of the solution at equivalent point is dependent on the strength of the acid and the base used in the titration. For strong acid and strong base titration, for example, we have strong acid as an analyte and strong base as a titrant. So the salt produced is a neutral salt such as sodium chloride, potassium chloride or sodium nitrate. This is the titration curve. pH produced or the pH measured is from the pH in the conical flask or pH of the analyte. So notice that the initial pH is based on the pH of a strong acid and pH, the final pH is the pH of a strong base, which is sodium hydroxide, for example. And then for the steep part, for the titration of strong acid and strong base is between 3 to 11. And the suitable indicator can be any indicators, okay, such as creosote, phenolphthalein, and bromothymol blue. For reaction of strong base and weak acid, the salt produced is basic salt. So the pH, initial pH is the pH of a weak acid. And the final pH is the pH of excess strong base, which is around 12. The steep part is around 7 to 11 of the titration curve. And the suitable indicators are bromothymol blue, phenolphthalein litmus, phenol red, and also creosote red. Next, the titration of strong acid and weak base. Weak base is the analyte and strong acid is the titrant. Salt produced is a acidic salt is an acidic salt such as ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate, or hydrozonium sulfate. So pH is based on the pH in the conical flask, and the pH, initial pH, is the pH of a weak base, and pH of the final pH is the pH of excess strong acid. So the steep part of this reaction is 3 to 7, and the suitable indicators are methyl red, bromophenol blue, and methyl orange. For the titration of weak acid and weak base, we can say that the titration curve has irregular shape and no steep part, and you can use any suitable indicators. How to choose indicator? The first step is you draw the titration curve, and then you make sure that the pH range of the indicator lies in the steep part of the titration curve. These are the example of indicator: universal indicator, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, thymol blue, and bromothymol blue, which has different color in acid and also different color in base. These are a few exercises for you to try. If you have problems, please consult with your lecturer. Alright, we have come to the end of 7.2. In the next lesson, we will learn about solubility equilibria 7.3. That's all for today. Thank you.